Hey everybody, Alex Kazora, SteelersDepot.com, back with some Pittsburgh Steelers tape breakdown and analysis. Want to revisit something I talked about with Alex Highsmith towards the end of the Pittsburgh Steelers season, but how opposing offenses adjusted and how Highsmith himself will have to adjust going forward. I recorded a video back in December on Alex Highsmith in the potency of his inside spin move, which I thought was one of the best in football at that time. And because that move was so good, because it was so successful, you kind of felt opposing offensive tackles adjust and begin to sit on that. I want to go through the last 3 games of 2022 against the Raiders, the Ravens, and the Browns and see how tackles and offenses are beginning to adjust. Any pass rusher who has a signature move, and Alex Highsmith has admitted the spin move is his favorite kind of go-to counter, change-up, and big money, third down, fourth quarter type of situations, those tackles are going to begin to adjust to it. And you see, really starting with Week 16 against the Raiders with left tackle Colton Miller begin to adjust and expect that move from Highsmith. Now, Highsmith does a good job generally speaking, to set things up by rushing wide with speed rushes and outside moves and his ghost move and a bull rush occasionally to try to make the spin more unpredictable and successful. And this seems like a good rush to me by Highsmith. Nothing really different that he's doing that I can tell, at least. But you're seeing Miller be able to anticipate that a bit more and adjust and seal Highsmith here so he can't have that free path to the quarterback. And so that trend began in Week 16. And I'm going to go through the rest of these clips pretty quickly from this Raiders game. 4 times against Las Vegas, Highsmith attempted this spin move, and all 4 times I would consider it failing and being blocked and mirrored by left tackle Colton Miller. So you see it here trying the spin. It looks the same to me, but you see Miller, I think, know that could be coming, and he does a better job here to defend it. A little bit later in the game, you see Highsmith trying it again against Colton Miller, and again, it's not going to be as successful as we saw it. Earlier in the year, it was working almost every single time that he did it, and now the third time, Miller really kind of knows to expect a given down distance situation. The scouting, I'm sure that the Raiders coaching staff and Miller himself were doing, and this one totally rebuffed by Colton Miller. And last example here, again, watch the spin, and there's the running back with the chip. And so sometimes when the back chips, that kind of invites the spin move. That happened with Dwight Freeney a ton in his days, to the point where tackle said, don't even chip, because it kind of invites the spin. But you see Miller sit here, and Highsmith not able to make this move work. And so I think in this game in particular, Highsmith was using the move too often. 4 times is a lot for him to use in one game, and it then made it even more predictable because really the spin works. There's a surprise element to it, but overall in this game, 0 for 4 on the spin move. Now we move to the following week, Week 17 against Baltimore, and quality left tackle Ronnie Stanley when he's healthy. The only time Highsmith attempted to move in the game, and you see Stanley do enough to get in front of that, stay square to the block, and prevent Highsmith from having that pass into the B-gap to quarterback Tyler Huntley. It's not the prettiest block in the world you're going to see from Stanley, although I think it's pretty quality, but point is, it's still a win for Stanley. Highsmith cannot win on the rush, and so you saw, I think, tackles studying that, anticipating that, and doing a much better job defending that down the stretch, and you get the Ravens touchdown here. And then in Week 18, the regular season finale against Cleveland, and this is left tackle Jedrick Wills, and Highsmith has always had success with his spin move against him, even dating back to his rookie year in 2020. Not the case here. Tried it twice in this game, and Wills won both times. And so you see it here in this example. Wills able to stay square and not get fooled on this one. Does a better job, maybe to kind of drop step and give a bit of ground here to get square on this play, but Highsmith not having the success that he was having, as you see the high hurdle there from David Njoku. And one last look at it here, same situation, just showing the same thing, just to really hammer the point home. When you have the cut-ups and it's more than one play and it's more than just 2 rushes here or there, I think it kind of drives the point home, and how the guard slides in this play, so maybe this one just never really had much of a chance. And again, the back's chipping, which probably influences the spin here a little bit, but you see Wills do a much better job sitting on that than the left guard. That's Joel Bitonio able to help out. So in his last 3 games, those were the all 7 spin moves that Highsmith used in week 16, week 17, and week 18. He went 0 for 7 when that was one of his probably the most effective move that he had in his career, especially prior to this last stretch of games here in 2022. And so that's going to be something to watch going forward. And when I say something to watch, it's expected that offenses are going to adjust whenever they, game plan you more, when there's more of a sample size, when you're late in the season, when they're studying breakout seasons like Alex Highsmith. How is this guy getting, 14 and a half sacks? What's he doing? How does he win? And he wins with that inside spin move. And so you're seeing offenses adjust. Now, I think for Highsmith, the question will be, how does he adjust back? Does he spin less? Does he incorporate a different way to do it? Does he try to set it up differently? Does he refine his technique? Is there a tell he's giving about, the spin move? I think certainly situationally he does it in, understandably so, big money downs, like I mentioned, third down, end of game, end of half type stuff. Does he vary that up and maybe make it less predictable in terms of the circumstances in which it'll happen? All important questions, all things I'll be watching for. I know Highsmith even made a comment about that spin not working as much towards the end of the year. I picked up on that as well. Wanted to go back to the tape and really show the examples of that. So still a guy that I would pay this offseason, still somebody that certainly deserves a long-term deal to stay in Pittsburgh, a guy that I'm excited about watching rush opposite of TJ Watt for hopefully quite some time. But I think the biggest challenge Highsmith will have this offseason is being able to play that chess game and make that next move and counter the counters he's facing, so that move remains potent and something he can win with in 2023. So that will wrap up today's video. I just wanted to hammer that point home about Alex Highsmith and his spin, since I praised it, and I praised it a lot in a recent video as well. And now we're talking about the cat and mouse game that offenses and defenses play, and we'll see how Highsmith responds next year. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Appreciate you guys watching. If you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, I'd really appreciate that, and we'll talk to you soon.